Police in Germany announced this week that they have arrested an Iranian-born German man in suspicion that he attempted to set fire to a synagogue in the city of Bochum near Dusseldorf. Police suspect that the very same man was responsible for another attack on Jewish people on a synagogue in the city of Essen on the same day. This news from Europe comes amongst a rising sense of unease among the Jewish people in the United States and Canada, where anti-Semitic attacks have been on the rise for years and years, and in recent time, these statements from very prominent celebrities have raised fears amongst the Jewish people that anti-Semitism is becoming mainstreamed. Meanwhile, the war in Ukraine grinds on, with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky telling his people that Russian forces would continue launching missile strikes on power stations and pummeling water supply networks in an effort to break the will of the Ukrainian home front as winter sets in. His declarations seem to track with a statement by the Kremlin last Thursday that Ukraine's government could end the suffering of its population by just capitulating to Russia's demands. Dozens of cities all over Ukraine are experiencing power outages, shortages of electrical power, and heat as snow begins to fall and temperatures drop below freezing. Difficult conditions also prevail in many Russian cities, as reports have surfaced that nearly one-third of the country's national budget has been allocated to fighting the war in Ukraine. This has halted or delayed thousands of projects meant to improve the quality of life for ordinary Russians and put downward pressure on the economy in Russia, which has already been battered by Western sanctions and fallout from COVID-19 pandemic, which hit Russia really, really hard. Meanwhile, in Israel, the recent uptick in terror attacks does not appear to have done any serious damage to Israel's economy, and Israelis show their customary fortitude and determination to continue with our normal lives no matter what, as much as possible. This determination was full on display this week as events were held to honor people who are already making positive contribution to the Jewish state, even though they only made Aliyah very recently. Amir Gissin, CEO of Maccabi World Union, addressed one such event during this week, meant to recognize an initiative called Israel Startup Experience, which helps new immigrants find work in Israel's booming high-tech industry. In 2022, this year, approximately 1,500 young Jewish people from approximately 30 countries around the world arrived in Israel for periods of 2 to 10 months to study leadership, Zionism, Israel startup companies, and even the Holocaust and life in a kibbutz, and the Marva basic training program in the IDF. Gissin says he added many of these young people to take a step for Aliyah, and many more of them are considering the idea of actually making their Aliyah. This is exciting. This week also, Nefesh B'Nefesh organization, that organization that helps assist Jewish people from North America and the UK and Canada to make Aliyah, held its national Sylvan Adams Bonei Tzion Prize banquet at the Beit Ha'am Cultural Center in Jerusalem. 8 immigrants from English-speaking countries received an award for their contributions in fields ranging from education to medicine to culture to sports. Awards were given to those who had made outstanding contributions in assisting others to make Aliyah from around the world. These extraordinary individuals serve as leaders in their local communities, in the state of Israel, and throughout the Jewish community worldwide, says philanthropist Sylvan Adams, who sponsored the event. These contributions that they make in their respective fields are truly inspiring, and it is an honor to give them this recognition that they deserve. I'm confident that the current and future immigrants, Olim, will continue to make a positive impact on the Jewish state and on the world. Bar-Ilan University announced this week that they have developed groundbreaking process for restoring damaged neural networks, providing hope for millions of people around the world suffering from multiple sclerosis and other neurological ailments. The research is just the latest example of medical breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough in Israel's world-class academic ecosystem. What does all this mean? There is a sad but undeniable deterioration of the quality of life for many Jewish people in countries outside Israel, especially Ukraine and Russia, but even some Western countries where Jewish communities have long lived in comfort and affluence, and at the same time, quality of life in Israel has seen rapid improvements through the recent years. Improvements continue, and there is the ever-present threats of terrorism and war, yet Israel consistently ranks high in surveys of happiness, satisfaction of life. Israel's a great place to live, work, raise children, and flourish. Israel is in fairly good shape to weather the recession that many economists believe the world is already in and will only get worse in years to come. This is because Israel produces so many things the world needs, but most notably natural gas, but also components of like agricultural fertilizers, microprocessors, defense equipment, world-class universities, opportunities for education that attracts students. It's a hub, it's an ecosystem that brings people from all over the world and takes them to succeed and to shine. When they first arrive, though, they need the initial start. They need the initial push to get going, right? Basic things, to get their day-to-day living happening, Hebrew language instruction, job training, food, clothing, shelter, a place to stay. All this is free. And that's where the Aliyah Return Center comes in. The Aliyah Return Center was founded for the purpose of helping in this key stage of a new immigrant's transition to the Holy Land, fulfilling the ancient promises. Please remember the Aliyah Return Center in your year-end giving and give generously as unto the Lord, because this is His prophetic work.
Thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to keeping you posted as to the latest developments that relate to Aliyah and return and restoration. God bless you from the land of Israel.